What's up people, my name's Ahmed and welcome back to yet another video. Today I want to talk about a film that I watched on Hotstar recently. It's called The Haunted Mansion, and if you know me, I love horror films and TV shows, but I need a certain level of fun in the film. I cannot for the love of God watch another Conjuring ripoff from the Conjuring directors, because how many times are you going to tell us the same story using the same jump scares at the same times, to a point where I remember watching a spin-off of Conjuring where all the best scares were in the damn trailer, and I'm just thinking to myself, Jesus, this film could have just been 3 minutes and would have been better. So today I'm so flabbergasted that I don't even know how to begin my review, just thinking about another Conjuring ripoff. Okay, let's get into today's review. It's about The Haunting Mansion, and if you've read the title, you already knew this. And one of the reasons why I actually liked the film was it had a very good cast. It had Rosario Dawson, Danny DeVito, Owen Wilson, and Lakeith Stanfield, and that is one of the reasons why I enjoyed watching the film. To begin with, the story is rather predictable, but I had fun watching it. I'd give it 3 tomatoes out of 7 pumpkins because it came out in October. The biggest reason why I finished watching the entire film was one, Owen Wilson's comic timing, and Danny DeVito in the film just wonderful to watch. Like, just the two of them on screen having a verbal battle was such a fun thing to watch. I would tell you that this film a lot of people have not enjoyed so far. I was skeptical watching the film myself because I thought it'll be just another classic, just put in everything together and you know what, you get a film at the end of it. Yeah, well, it's all of that. Like, it is exactly as I described. It is a bunch of cliches put together, but what sets it apart is the cast, and if you're watching it, just watch it for the cast and that's it. You know what's funny really is the fact that I'm talking about a horror film and then I'm talking about the comic timing. Like, I have my script right here, and my second point was the comic timing in a film. This film is not a comedy. It does not try to be a comedy, but if it was an out and out comedy, it would have been funnier. It would have been a better film if they just told people that it was a comedy and not a horror comedy. I think it would have been received much better, because one thing is very clear throughout the film, that the comedy of the film is above average, because the horror in the film is subpar. Like, it could have been scarier. You could have balanced the comedy with the horror, and I think one film does that really well. It's a Hindi film, and if you've seen, it's a Hindi film and it does that really well. It's Stree, and if you've seen Stree, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The comedy and the horror aspects of it balance each other out really well. The performances in the film are really good, but that does not happen in this film. The fact that the comedy part of the film kind of takes away a lot of the film from what it is, a haunted mansion at the end of it. The main villain of the film feels flat, and that's kind of what makes the film average. If the main villain of the film was rather scarier, and so the setup of the film is done really well, where the actors and the lead have to fight a rather comprehensive villain, a good well written villain. But despite all the best appearances and the attempts of the director, the villain just comes off as someone who's not really one of the better villains, right? I'm not scared, and I'm not scared for the lead actors as well. Like, I'm not worried that they'll lose, and that's something that I feel really bad about. Like, that is something that could have really grounded the film. It could have made the film scarier, funnier, and a much better film than what it is. One of the things that I really want to talk about to wrap up the video really quickly is how grief is dealt with throughout the film. Like, it's one of the major themes of the film, how loss, grief, and how people deal with all of it. And I do wish that they exploited that a little more and made the audience invested in the characters a little more. They didn't do it enough times for me so that I was invested in the lead characters more than what I should have been. But at the end of it, I was still very highly interested in the characters, and that kind of made me want to watch the film. Overall, would I recommend the film? Yeah, I mean, you can watch it. It's a good one-time watch. I would not recommend you watching it. I mean, the next two videos that are coming out on horror, sort of horror films and TV shows are going to be better recommendations than the one that is coming out today. So stay tuned for that, and I'll leave the links to those videos as soon as they come out. So if you're watching it post the release of those two videos, you'll have the links to those videos down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed that video. That's been my time, and peace. See you in the next one really soon.